have accepted the fact that WWE's Women's Championship will be revolving around the four horsewomen, that is Becky, Charlotte, Sasha and Bayley. There would be times where we will see other wrestlers holding titles, but I'm sure that won't be long. Like if we look at the present scenario, Becky Lynch is out due to her being pregnant and Charlotte is recovering from an injury. Despite two of the four horsewomen are out, the whole attention is on Bayley and Sasha, who until last week were feuding for the SmackDown's Women's Championship. If we look at the current scenario, the SmackDown's Women's Championship is given more preference than the Raw Women's Championship. For instance, we had Sasha vs Bayley inside Hell in a Cell for the SmackDown's Women's Championship, whereas the Raw Women's Champion Asuka was not even on the pay-per-view. You can also take the example of Bayley and Sasha being tag team champions. After them dropping the titles, those belts didn't have any value. There have been meetings where those titles were not even discussed, but this was the same time when Billie Kay and Peyton and Royce, aka the Iconics, held the titles, not Bayley and Sasha. I would not say that the four horsewomen are bad or dominant forces of locker room or something, but I would clearly say that they are definitely more favored as compared to other women. These four women have had major feuds, pay-per-view matches, titles, Royal Rumble wins, and to be honest, I have never seen these four women put over any superstar. Ever since 2015, these women have changed the landscape of women's wrestling. I won't say that the Bellas, Ronda Rousey, Alexa Bliss, Paige, Carmella, Lacey Evans, Asuka, the Riot Squad or the NXT Women's Division did nothing. But I would definitely say that these four women were the major forces involved in the women's revolution. Before these women were part of the main roster, things like Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber for women did not exist. In fact, if you take an example of Hell in a Cell matches, all three matches had these four women involved. Well, till now I wanted to show you guys how involved WWE is in building in their careers. But now I will come to the topic of the video, which is comparing the four horsewomen in WWE. The main points I would compare them on will be their independent careers, mic skills, wrestling skills and title reigns. So without wasting any time, let's begin. Sasha Banks, who is currently 28 years old, started her wrestling career in 2010 at age 18. She started wrestling for famous indie promotion Chaotic Wrestling. She has been a top star for this promotion and has held the women's title for a record 259 days, which was the longest reign during that time. She also had a few appearances for NWA where she mostly lost. After signing with WWE in 2012, she has been involved in multiple feuds. She has held the NXT Women's Championship once, 5 times she had held the Raw Women's Championship, twice she has held the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, and she is the current SmackDown Women's Champion in her first reign. Now her days as champions are really less, although she has won the Raw Women's Championship 5 times but has never defended her title successfully. In fact, 2 weeks ago on SmackDown was her first successful championship defense, which definitely makes her a weak champion in front of her peers. Sasha is the smallest among the four horsewomen. We sometimes see her using the suicide dive and she often goes to the top rope as well. She can't be called a technical wrestler nor a high flyer. She in fact is a mix of both. In short, I would say she has a variety of moves which include a submission and finisher, the Banks statement, and also cool moves like the Meteora. Sasha Banks on the mic is an absolute boss. Crowd loves Sasha Banks. People watching on the television screen love Sasha Banks. Sasha on the mic becomes so classy that it defines why she is called the boss. Sasha on the mic can be considered the best among the four horsewomen. Bayley, who is currently 31 years old like Sasha, started her wrestling career at age 18 and with the Indies. She started with Big Time Wrestling, which is a small wrestling promotion in Michigan, United States. She wrestled for this promotion for at least 4 years, and in between these 4 years, she also wrestled for NWA and Shine Wrestling. She signed with WWE in 2012 and has no doubt been a mega star with the company. In WWE, she is a one-time NXT Women's Champion, a one-time Raw Women's Champion, 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion, and a one-time Money in the Bank winner. She is also the first WWE Women's Triple Crown Champion and also the first WWE Women's Grand Slam Champion. Unlike Sasha Banks, her reigns are long. She recently held the SmackDown Women's Championship for a record 380 days. Bayley can be classified as a grappler, though we sometimes see her using the top rope for her diving elbow. Her moves mostly include throwing her opponents around at a clothesline. Basically, she does not have a variety. She currently uses Rose Plant as a finisher, which is a massive upgradation from Bayley to Belly. Bayley honestly is horrible on the mic. She sounds very unnatural and one can easily make out that she follows the script blindly. I mean, zero improvisation, though she improved herself a bit after turning heel, but she remains the worst out of the four horsewomen. Becky Lynch, who is currently 33 years old, started her wrestling career in 2002 and did her initial training with Finn Balor. She wrestled for Canadian promotion Super Girls Wrestling, where she also became the inaugural champion. Becky also wrestled for promotions like All Pro Wrestling in California. She wrestled all around the globe, which included Japan, Germany and France. In 2006, at an event in Germany, she suffered a head injury due to which she had to take a 6-year break from wrestling. She signed a developmental deal with WWE in 2013 and ever since she has been unstoppable. In WWE, she is a 1-time Raw Women's Champion, a 3-time SmackDown Women's Champion and a 1-time Royal Rumble winner. She is also the only woman to hold WWE Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships simultaneously. Her reigns have been perfect. She held the Raw Women's Championship for more than a year before vacating it. Now coming to her moveset, she does not have the best of moveset. She literally does not have variety and her moves are repetitive. She uses the disarmer as a finisher, which I think is very decent, but the rock bottom is kinda cringe. Becky used a variety of moves on the indie, even on NXT, but on the main roster I would again say she is repetitive. Becky has a very good ability of getting a reaction from the crowd, which made her the man gimmick so popular. It actually did not matter whether she has good or bad mic skills. I would say she was successful to actually capture such a large crowd. Charlotte Flair, who is currently 33 years old, was a volleyball player. She actually does not have any indie experience. Charlotte Flair joined WWE in 2012 and during her 8 years with the company, she has been amazing. She was part of the team PCB early in her career, feuded with the Bellas. Her feuds with Sasha and Becky were awesome as well. She has been a 1-time Divas champion in WWE. She is also the last Divas champion as WWE replaced the belt with the Women's Championship. She has held the Raw Women's Championship 4 times, the SmackDown Women's Championship 5 times and the NXT Women's Championship 2 times. She also won the 2020 Women's Royal Rumble match. Her moveset is really good. It includes strong kicks, grappling your opponents to the ground, some aerial moves and definitely submissions. There is actually a lot of variety in Charlotte Flair matches. We often see her using new moves. Charlotte also plays her roles perfectly. She was an excellent babyface during the start of her career. She quickly reversed her roles and became an awesome heel in a few minutes. She has really good mic skills and when she is a heel, she really pisses off the crowd. All 4 horsewomen are just amazing. All of them have played their roles perfectly. They have definitely elevated the women's division to a whole new level. I would say Charlotte is the best in ring amongst the 4. It would be a tie on mic skills as I keep Sasha and Charlotte equal on mic skills. Becky definitely was the most loved superstar before taking a break, and yeah, Bayley is also just amazing. So this was all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Do like the video, do subscribe. Thanks for watching.